So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Hurts. That is caught by Thielen. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They'll run with Cook. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. 5 yards, a good run there. Now 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. They're going to look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown Vikings. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
I thought that was a nice job there, feeling the pressure and rolling out away from it and keeping the play alive. And I think he did it with the idea that his tight end would find his way free in the end zone, and his confidence was rewarded.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. The quarterback will keep it himself. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Completes it to Evan Ingram. On the move past the 40. Look at the big man rumble. Touchdown! Evan Ingram, 74 yards. And the Jags are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good from Santoso. And they open the lead up now to 25.
Vikings 13. Logan Cook to kick off for the Jaguars.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
It's caught. Smith. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to give him a first down. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Give him 18 on the play. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Back to throw again.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. And this ball is caught by Irv Smith. Touchdown Vikings.
A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here's 2nd and 9.
Lawrence will throw. Complete to Jones. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a first down, and that catch also puts him at 150 yards receiving now for the game. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
From Viking territory now, they'll come on 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down.
Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence.
Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
That's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are, right into the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
That's to Cook out of the backfield.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. It's caught on the right side of Smith.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They'll let this go for the end zone.
And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here we go, here we go. 18 rattle, 18 rattle. 18, right here.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted.
Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now on 2nd and 13, Lawrence. And this one is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The offense on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here's Lawrence. And this pass broken up. But the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Here's Logan Cook now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Ready?
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
Looking here for Smith downfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Panther 11, Panther 11. Rig alert, rig alert.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Got an open man finding Jefferson.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So in Jacksonville territory there, it's a 1st and 10 at the 34. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He has been nearly impossible to throw on all year long. If it was me, I'd say he could go ahead and book that trip to the NFL Award Show in February. He's going to be Defensive Player of the Year, I think. What do you think?
I would agree with you, and the reason why, because he takes the ball away, because he gets to the football. The only way a defensive back ever wins this award is because they have a number of interceptions, takeaways, knockdowns, all that. Add it all together, he's created a lot of big plays.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts.
And this one too low.
Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete.
Down inside the 10.
And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last.
Touchdown, Vikings! Irv Smith Jr., a 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
On the stick.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
First down, Jackson.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Lawrence. This one complete to Christian Kirk.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. But that last throw, Charles, puts him over 15,000 yards passing now for his career.
And Brandon, they're not going to stop the game and give him the game ball here, but that's still a pretty impressive number, and he's got plenty of more good football ahead of him. Although I would say the team should give him a game ball after it's all over.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. That one looks like he'll throw here. And incomplete on the deep ball.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
On first down, Lawrence.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Vikings are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Likely win this ballgame still. Even with the interception, two-score game.
Terry's decision to even throw the ball in that situation, but maybe they saw a stacked line of scrimmage and said, hey, it's better to try and throw than to try and run against it. In any event, I think you're exactly right. Now, the other team can pad their stats, but I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah, but still, don't change the channel just yet.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Hurts throw pulled in by Jefferson. Finding room at midfield. Loose inside the 30. Justin Jefferson.
And he takes this one into the end zone. Here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Hurts will throw.
And he's got it. So the drive for two successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So with it even 30 seconds to go, everything will come down to this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the Jaguars. And that should just about do it. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here's Lawrence.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show.
He's got a man complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Charles, in this one, the fourth quarter became a lot more interesting, I know, than I anticipated, probably you anticipated. A comeback bid falling just a little bit short.
You're never supposed to count a team out, and I know we did not err, but mentally, I just didn't see this type of a comeback, especially one that put them in a position to put the real pressure on them down the stretch.
So for Jacksonville, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles.
Oh, you see that? I'm hungry now. Y'all played y'all game? Who won? What y'all played in Outcast? God damn. Dog, he'll have you thinking that he's fucking awesome at times, dog. That's what I'm doing now. No, Messi? Shit, that nigga a goat. That nigga a fucking goat, dog. Him and Ronaldo, he up there with Ronaldo them, dog. that nigga there, man. And Outkast?